On today's expose, who else in this episode but Dark Beast? Dark Beast first appeared in X-Men Alpha number 1, created by Scott Lobdell and Roger Cruz in 1995. This version of Beast was part of the whole Age of Apocalypse, which any X-fan loves, Age of Apocalypse. He's like, what if Hank McCoy went wrong? And he became so popular, he kind of like jumped over to 616 and started being a villain over in 616. And what's kind of cool is like, our Hank McCoy eventually kind of caught up to Dark Beast and kind of became Dark Beast. So I guess it wasn't that far-fetched that Dark Beast could happen. So
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, Paul hates him.
Yeah,
no,
I know a lot of people hated where Beast went.
Yeah, he went down a dark route once he brought those 5 back.
Yeah.
Welcome to Bayville, my new home.
It's time you remember why they call me Storm.
Look at me, I look fat. Do I look that bad to you? Easy, you fuzzy elf. Everything is going to be just fine.
Storm. 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 That was tight. I give it 2 thumbs up.
Welcome to this week's Solving for X. My name is Sean. I'm the ultimate excavationist.
And I'm something of an X-fan myself, Kevin.
And I am ex-BFF of the pod, current new promoted to co-host, still working on that, sorry guys, Ryan.
You're good. And I'm so very excited to introduce here with us today Aurora Veil, who we saw perform at Uncanny Experience last year. How are you, Miss Veil?
Woo!
I am doing amazing. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
You're welcome. We're excited too. I have to tell you, can I call you bitch? I'm going to call you bitch.
Yes.
Bitch.
Please do.
You made me feel
Our
so
government
stupid
name.
because at Uncanny Experience, I was like, oh my God, there's so many drag queens here. I love it. And then I found out like all of them were you. You're like the Lady Gaga.
It's the same. It's gonna dip all of them are the same row.
Yeah, because I think you were Esme Cuckoo. You were
Oh, see, that's
Rogue.
perfect. Esme's literally got clone sisters. It literally was just me. Just every single time you saw me, just different room.
See?
Yeah. We saw you as Rogue, Madeline Pryor. Were you also? Did I see a picture of you as Black Widow, or am I making that up?
I did. That was on my Instagram. I did Black Widow
Okay.
a couple years ago for a number. And that was kind of like one of my very first like Marvel. Well, I used to do Harley Quinn back in the day, but that was a long time ago. But yeah.
Oh, I love Harley.
Did I also see, did you do a Mystique in the past too, from like the 90s?
So actually, no, I didn't do it for the 90s, but there is a picture of me in a Mystique look. So I was playing around with color paint for the first time. My roommate actually does drag too, but he's more of just like a face paint type of person, but he always does color drag. And they were helping me learn. So I decided, originally I was gonna go for Smurfette, and then I was like, oh, you know what? I got this red wig, so let me, go on a different route. So I was like drawing the little black dots all over me, trying to follow the patterns. And so I was like, you know what?
Okay.
I did it. I'm a stick baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked awesome. It looked really,
was super
really
cool.
Good. Yeah.
Thank
I feel like
you.
a slacker because all I did was Cyclops. Of course, I was hired to be Cyclops, so I guess I couldn't deter. But whatever, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And you did different looks, so you're good. You're good.
Exactly. Your Hellfire was awesome.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish I was
And
in
Aurora,
it
what led to this? What got you into drag, and then what got you into kind of the Marvel drag?
Well, so drag was like never like my original like goal for entertainment. I was doing modeling and acting for a while since I was 17. And I had done some runways and stuff. And so me and my boyfriend at the time, we were trying to move to, or no, my boyfriend and I had broken up, and then we were trying to move to California, because we wanted to pursue more dancing and acting out there. But then we got scammed, so we were kind of stuck in the city. So we kind of made a plan. We were like, if we're
Oh,
gonna stay
no.
here, we have to make a name for ourselves. Like that's our goal. So then fast forward 4 months later, I went out and dragged my first time, and then just after that, every single Friday we were just going out and then started doing the open stages on Mondays, and it just became a thing. And here I am 7.5 years later, and it's been awesome. It's been absolutely inspiring and fantastic.
That's
And
pretty cool.
Marvel drag, well, I mean, I did start doing a Harley Quinn before I did drag. I did a Harley Quinn for a Halloween costume when I was like 20. And so then when I started drag, I was like, oh, I kind of want to up it a little bit. So there's kind of some changes. And she's kind of the inspiration of what made me want to start drag, the badass bitches from comic books and TV shows, like Buffy and, Harley and all of them. So, yeah. And then, so I didn't really do a whole lot of like cosplay drag really, but then Chandler had posted on our Twin Cities drag scene that he was looking for some performers for this X-Men convention. I was like, well, I kind of missed the deadline, but I was like, hey, here's some photos of me, and here's a performance we're performing. Please, if anything, I'll do it for free. I just really want to be a part of this. And
Oh,
here we are today. So,
Nice.
awesome.
That is so cool.
Can I ask what inspired your drag name?
so drag name is so funny. So, Aurora's always been my favorite female name. I've always thought it was the most beautiful woman name ever since I was like 10 years old. So, like, I figured if I was gonna be a drag queen, originally I was supposed to be Trisha Trash Queen, but that didn't really kind of stick.
I love
I mean, it kind of would have worked, but it wasn't just as, elegant. So I went with Aurora. And then Veil is just because I've always been fascinated with veils, with wedding veils and stuff like that, and how like mysterious they can be, as well as, like the veil, the thin veil between, the spirit world and our world,
Yeah.
all of that. I've always been a supernatural magic practicer, stuff like that. So it was kind of a two-in-one. It kind of just mixed together. And unfortunately, I started drag just a little couple months after Pokemon Sun and Moon came out, and there's a Pokemon move also called Aurora Veil. So
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think
Fortuitous.
about that. That's so
That's
funny.
funny.
I love Sun. I love Sun and Moon.
so it was just kind of, it wasn't because of Pokemon, but I do love to take on the fact that as a Pokemon fanatic, I'm just like, it kind of fits. So I wasn't going to change it though.
Nice. It all worked out.
Absolutely.
Do you have a favorite X-Men character?
Yeah, honestly, Rogue. Rogue's always been my favorite. I love how very versatile she is and how she just has to touch one person and she's able to even manifest their powers even like further than they can, even temporarily. She went from not being able to control any of it, to being able to be one of the most powerful mutants in the world. And she's just a badass girl, and I always loved her evolution character the most because I just love how very just like nonchalant she is with everything, and even on the teams, she cares for them, but she still just like doesn't want to like show that I love you kind of side of her. And it's just my favorite adaptation of her. But Rogue's always been my absolute favorite X-Men, absolutely.
Nice.
Love that.
Yeah. Cool. And I wanted to get your perspective, just in case any of our listeners kind of don't know or don't see it from a drag queen's perspective. So obviously, 2016 to 2020 was a very tumultuous 4 years, and we're going into 2025, another start of tumultuous. I love that word, tumultuous. Can you give us your perspective on what it's like being a drag queen in this date and time, and kind of what you go through?
Everyone's experience is different. I'm lucky to have be where I am in Minneapolis, where our community is so diverse and so accepted in most spaces that we have. But that's not always the case. Especially with today's climate and trying to ban drag queens from being able to read to children, just being able to just read a book. And they're saying that we're grooming children and trying to groom them into these sexual things, which there's nothing sexual about it. We're just here dressing up and just trying to, bring their favorite characters to life, while we just read books that they can relate to, and half the time I read books to children every year. In July, we do a thing out in St. Paul, part of a radio book festival. And me and some of my sisters will go out and read to these children. And half the time, these children, they don't even listen to the books half the time, and they just want to interrupt you and just talk about what they ate for lunch yesterday. Like they don't care that we're drag queens. Like, and if they are, they're just coming up because they want to see the shiny outfits that we're wearing. They want to see the colors, the bright colors that we're, showing in front of them. Like they don't care. we're not there to do anything extra with them, and it's sad that people are going out of their way and trying to focus on banning drag queens from something so innocent when there are such bigger and more important things going on in the world, school shootings, these people don't even care that their children are in danger at school. They'd much rather go after drag queens who are doing absolutely nothing but trying to bring positivity, and light to the world. And it's just saddening, and I love being able to be a drag queen and being able to do it in the clubs at night, but day drag too, sometimes when you're walking down the street, there's still people who will, say some really raunchy or dirty things, and all you can just do is just keep walking to the destination. We always tell each other, whenever we're walking from one bar to the next, or even from our cars, walking groups at least two, because with everything that's been going on since, like you said, 2016, it's just been a completely different world, and we've just got to keep fighting harder and stronger for, what's right, and what we all believe in, and just, protect, everything, protect kids from what's really dangerous, fucking guns and everything else. But that's like,
Right.
you know, that's other people's issues. We're not doing anything, so it's a lot.
Yeah.
I have a lot of strong feelings for it too, but I don't want to get too political with this whole thing, because it really affects me deeply. I just went to my best friend's daughter's first birthday yesterday, and that was just a beautiful moment to have, and they just know me as Gunkle Austin, and so I do this where I just dress up and I go to the same thing. I go to St. Paul and I just read to children, and it's the same thing. They're just kids who are just happy to see people reading books to them, having fun. They just want to literally talk to you about what they ate, what they smeared macaroni cheese on their mom's fridge. Like it's such an innocent experience, but it's so delightful. And then we get to mingle with these families afterwards, and they're just loving and sweet. And you see these parents who are teaching their children, acceptance and kindness, and not to see hate in the world, and to accept people for just who they are. And if you see a guy wearing a dress, just that's just what they want to wear, so be it. And it's nothing. So, it's the parents that have to, we can only do so much, but the parents are the ones that can only help. They have to help us, teach your children what's right and what's wrong, and just, for the better. It's such a hard thing, and I really want to see children grow up and being able to actually have a place to feel safe. And right now in this climate, we really don't have a lot of safe spaces, and it sucks. And I'd really like the next generation to be able to have that, because the generation before us, they didn't have it at all. They had no safe spaces. They were underground. They were going secret and things. We're kind of privileged as millennials, and the Gen Zs that are growing up. So these other kids, I really hope that they just don't have to worry about being scared of who they are. It's 2025 almost. It's still scary to come out for some kids, and I really hope they don't have to worry about that. A decade from now. So we just have to keep fighting for it.
I
Sorry.
love that. Thank you for speaking to that. No, that was amazing.
That was so
My heart
beautiful.
just grew 3 sizes bigger listening to you.
Yeah, we appreciate you. And we try to lift everybody in the community as much as we can with our show. Even though we're silly and we talk about X-Men, we still all strongly believe that there's a place for everybody. So thank you for speaking to that.
Oh, yeah.
Thank
Definitely.
you so much. I really appreciate it.
On another note, though, not political at all, do you have a favorite Rue girl?
Do I have a favorite Rue girl? I have a couple. Alaska is actually one of the main reasons why I also want to start drag. She's like funny because I also thought I'd be like one of these trashy girls. That's why I wanted to be Trisha Trash Queen when I first got
I love that.
But then the more I watched Alaska, and I watched her on All Stars too. This is before I started drag, and the glamour that she showed on the last episode, and the way she just started crying in that lip sync, and it sealed the full win for me. And I was like, that's my queen. I was like, I want to be just like her, And then of course Bianca Del Rio, you can't go wrong with, her. Yeah, I've met so many queens, I don't want to name too many of them, but no, Alaska for sure. Alaska is one of the main reasons why I started drag too. I just really love her authenticity, her comedic approach to everything, but also how very smart she is, and how very idealistic she can be. And she's very creative, so she's always been an inspiration for sure.
Yeah, she's
Awesome.
my number one as well. No offense to all the drag queens. I love me some Alaska. I saw Drag the Musical twice while it was here in LA, and I love it so much. It's so good. It's in
I'm
New York now.
jealous.
Me too.
Ooh la la la, ooh la la, ooh la la la,
Yeah,
ooh la
it's
la.
such a good
It's so
song.
pretty. Yeah.
I am not
All
gonna
right.
sing.
Okay. All right, let's get into our episode here. So to start off, last week our question on Previously On was, how do you feel about Arcade? Our options were, he's a dangerous villain, cheesy but fun, meh, or he's so dumb. Aurora, how do you think this shook out? What do you think the top answer was?
Well, I don't know. Are we talking about him in the episode? Or are we talking about him in the comics?
Him in the comics, more so.
In the comics, I'd say I'm still on about cheesy but fun. Probably mid, probably there, as I'd probably say they probably. I'm not gonna say he's a dangerous villain. I personally don't think so, but I'm gonna say B. I'm gonna go with B.
B.
Okay. Well, meh got 6%. He's so dumb got 14%. So people do like Arcade because that's pretty low for he's so dumb.
Yeah.
22% said he's a dangerous villain. 58% said cheesy but fun. You passed the test. We did have one write-in from John Carl of Cyclops is Waiting for Me. He said, fifth option, depends on the writer. He specifically called out Dazzler number 3. He said Arcade was written really bad in Dazzler number 3, which I have not read yet, but I figured Ryan has.
Yeah, I thought about that today when I was thinking actually about the Previously On. I was like, oh, but he was written really, like, he just went right back to cheesy but fun. Not even cheesy but fun, to be honest. Yeah, he was like, meh. Yeah.
Oh. Just meh?
Yeah. Meh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meh.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so today we're talking about The Beast of Bayville. This aired 10/27/2001, written by William Forrest Cluverius. I really love that name. Very Resident Evil name.
It is. When do we figure out who won the duel last week? Is that later?
At the end, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait, then I'll hold off.
Danger Room Divas.
Yeah, Danger Room Divas. And this was directed by Gary Graham. We have Gary Graham again.
Mm-hmm.
Our superhero writer, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Gary.
All right. Spike carefully plays with his eraser and tacks rather than pay attention in chemistry. He makes an eraser car and flings it at Kurt rather than listen to Professor McCoy and another of his boring lectures. Evan's friends get his attention from outside. Evan asks for a bathroom pass and goes to meet them. The remaining class watch as Mr. McCoy flares up a controlled flame. Mr. McCoy goes to close the window and sees Evan cavorting with friends. Just then, a pang tears through Mr. McCoy.
I remember watching this originally when it aired and being so upset that Spike was able to get the eraser to move that way. Because I remember being a kid trying to do that with push pins, and it would never roll. It would never roll or anything. Like it would. You would have to,
how do you make? Use a ruler to make it like a ramp and everything too. I'm like, dude.
Yes, I was like, how is it? I was like, Jean must be in this class. She must be doing this. Yeah.
I was too busy taking the pencils into it and holding it up and just tossing it across the room.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that method as well.
I remember I was like a doodler. I would always be drawing all over everything. And one time the teacher picked it up in chemistry and he just looked at it and he went, huh, and then he just gave it back to me. So apparently I was pretty good at it.
There you go.
All right then.
What was the doodle of?
An artiste.
Do you remember?
Yes.
A penis.
Are you gonna call me a nerd? Maybe. It was of the characters Zell and Quistis from Final Fantasy VIII. I had them hugging each other and I wrote a whole love thing with them.
I love that.
That's adorable.
Thank you. I love Final Fantasy.
I never played it, but my ex-boyfriend always did, so I'd always just watch him all the time while I played Pokemon on the couch.
Okay. Well, if you ever want to
I-
come here and watch me play Final Fantasy, like you're invited.
Oh,
I
perfect.
played a
I
lot
would
of Final
love to back it
Fantasies. I didn't beat a lot of Final Fantasies. I didn't finish all of them. They get too
they're
hard for
long,
me
yeah.
at one point. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't beat this. I'm done.
That's like the first time I've heard you say something's too hard for you.
Oh, it's not.
Well, there's always a time for everything.
Well, there's a will, there's a way.
All right, should we go to scene 2?
Alrighty. Hank goes to the restroom alone where he quotes Hamlet to himself as he throws water on his face to gain control. The pain begins to be too much for Hank. He pulls the restroom sink up from its moorings. Oh man.
Man, yes.
Hi.
On a rampage.
Yes.
He can lift a sink. Oh my, what else can he do?
I know, everything and the bathroom sink.
Did you see the size of those hands?
Yeah. I know. I like that they went to kind of the original design of Beast, where his power was he had bigger hands and feet. Like this was very
Yeah, he was
reminiscent
an
of that.
actual ape, more ape-like for his form.
Although,
Yeah.
I'm never ever gonna get those feet from that one movie, whatever one his janky ass feet.
First
was that?
Class.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh, First Class.
When
Oh,
it came
those
out,
are so
the
awesome.
thumb.
They were multi-jointed.
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
There you
You
go.
can
This
find those
way
on
and that way.
All right, scene 3.
Mm-hmm.
Later that day, Risticu standing outside the destroyed men's bathroom with Principal Kelly, asking him a bunch of questions. Nearby, Kitty and Kurt walk to class together while gossiping. Kurt thinks that Mr. McCoy is the one that destroyed the restroom sink. Kitty doesn't believe because Mr. McCoy is so nice. Kitty runs off to class with that bitch, Mrs. Hawkins.
Oh my gosh. She really is. What a bitch.
What a bitch.
She's
Mrs.
not
Hawkins.
nice like Hank McCoy. Man.
That's the word of the day now today, bitch. Every time we say
It
bitch,
really
we have
is.
to Pee Wee Herman. Woo!
I want to say, I think that I really like that they're still bringing Risticu in it. That she still has to keep up her appearance as Risty.
I was surprised to see Risty because I'm just we all know she's Mystique. She's gonna disappear. But I was like, I totally forgot. We have a lot of more episodes with Risty.
Oh god, there's so much more. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting. Yeah, she's in it for a while. So
Yeah. I was upset with both of you bitches. Woo! Because you promised me that Risty was gone, but no, she's still here.
I know. I pre-spoke.
I kind of forgot that she.
Yeah, I totally forgot.
Something else has to
Just
happen first.
They forgot.
They forgot.
And it's not anytime soon, unfortunately. So
Okay.
No.
Oh, me.
Yep.
Later in the day, 2 laters, you're too late. Evan is out boarding with buds. He finds Mr. McCoy quoting Macbeth alone in the school outside auditorium. The acoustics are wonderful. I don't know how he thought he'd be quiet and discreet over here, but okay. Evan goes to check on him, but Mr. McCoy seems off. Hank snaps out of it and excuses Evan. Evan rejoins the board buds. Yeah, he attacks Evan. He's rah, but I'm gonna grab the wall. And he's oh, sorry. Oh.
And also again, the hands in the wall,
Yeah.
that was cement.
So, not to be a bitch, but there we go, we did it. Um, after they put so much attention into all the different quotes Hank made in the original X-Men series, him doing like Hamlet and Macbeth, I was like, wah, wah. Like, give me something better.
I'm legit using my William Shakespeare book to hold up my phone right now for this podcast.
Nice.
How appropriate.
I was like, it's fitting for the episode. Why not?
Yeah, why not? I'm sure Alison Seeley Smith would appreciate Hank Shakespeare.
Yes.
We'll have to ask her next time.
Yeah. All right. Evan comes home to find a package on the doorstep. Someone doesn't know how to spell. Evan picks up the package and takes it inside. Elsewhere in the manor, the X-Team are training in the Danger Room. Rogue tries to bow out, but Scott insists on saving her. An alarm goes off. Enter Storm! She announces time is up.
Mistress of the Elements.
Mistress of the Elements. Here to drive your car. Evan rolls in at the end of the practice. He gets a cold reception since he was late and missed the practice. I was so mad at this package. I was stuck like this for 3 hours.
I legit was like, I had to go back and look at her rights because I was like watching this video and I was like, should I mention that her name is spelled wrong? Like, that's not how you spell it right.
Right. And they reveal that like Kitty ordered it herself, so she wrote her name that way. So she doesn't even know how to spell her name.
I mean, she only blew up a computer like 3 times last episode.
That's true. She's lucky to be alive.
Literally.
Corrected. That's what it was.
Yeah. Siri, hop like a man.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I even went on to IMDb to check to make sure. I'm like, they better have not spelled it that way, like on this show, because I got so upset about the Y being I.
No, I think they spelled it correctly, don't they?
They do.
Okay, so it's just the episode then. They're so rude.
Yeah.
The artist didn't get the message here.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
The one person that wrote this episode has never watched X-Men in their life.
Nope.
Come on, Greg.
Come on, Graham. Gary Graham.
Oh, Gary Graham. Gary. I knew it was.
God damn it, Greg. Okay. Scene 6. Katie goes to the kitchen and finds her package with her name spelled wrong. It's a pyramid hat she ordered for herself, so like spelled her name wrong. Duh. She did it. Kitty shows the hat to Scott. She tells him it's supposed to stimulate brain power. She feels her head tingling. It's working already.
This scene. I was just like, this is Kitty. She's like, it's really sharp, don't you think? You know, pyramids are this year's Sphinx.
It doesn't even have a sharp top either. It stops at the little top.
I was like, is she going to a Devo concert? Like, what is this hat?
It's terrible.
I even Googled to see. I was like, were these actually popular in the early 2000s? Like, what was going on? Like, what?
I want someone to cosplay this.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go, Aurora. That's your cosplay next year.
No, I don't think so.
Then you can leave the podcast if you're not going to do it.
Bye.
At Bayville High School, Kevin bumps into Mr. McCoy in the halls. Mr. McCoy apologizes to Heaven. Oh, to Heaven. Wow. Mr. McCoy apologizes to Evan for his behavior at the amphitheater. Hank tells Evan that he just gets so obsessed with Shakespeare sometimes. Hank gives Evan a passage from Shakespeare to memorize and leaves to go be a coach.
Aww.
Come on, coach.
Come on,
I
coach.
teach science and gym class because I'm
I always
multi-talented.
forget the science teachers are gym teachers too.
Yeah, it balances.
I wouldn't
Sure.
mind Mr. McCoy as my coach.
Huh?
I said I wouldn't mind Mr. McCoy as my coach.
Oh, with those hands.
That's for the poll later.
Yeah.
About
Oh, that's right.
Put your hands on the pole. Yes.
My lord.
Oh, it's me, huh? Okay.
It's you.
All right. Hank enters. It's me. Hank enters the gym where he oversees the girls' hockey team. Evan watches from afar where he sees Hank start to freak out again. One of the girls skates out of control and she's like, "Catch me! Catch me, Mr. McCoy!
Catch me, coach!
Catch me! I definitely don't want you to grab my titty and touch me all over."
But then he turns around, he's like, "Rrr." She's like, "Oh, I don't know if I want you to catch me now."
I was expecting him to scream at her.
And his hands were right up here. She's like, yeah. He's like, "I don't know if I want to be groped that way yet," but yeah. So there we go. Evan notices Hank seems to be off again and comes to the girls' rescue. Jean, one of the hockey players, because she plays hockey too, controls her as well. Evan checks on Hank, who says he's fine. I fine, bro.
Fine.
He good.
I just often lose control of, my sanity. All right. Oh, so I'll just give a friendly reminder since we have a guest here. So when we say back at the manor, we are emulating Sarah Sanderson from Hocus Pocus when she says, "Thou shalt not speak to master in such a manner." So that's why we say it.
And that's why we say manor instead of mansion. So.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay, I get it.
Yep. So anytime you see manor, you have to say it like Sarah Sanderson. Manor. Or if you're Paul, mana.
Yeah.
The
mana.
Manna from heaven.
Manor. On a stormy night, Evan is practicing his Shakespeare. Enter Kitty. She tries to get Evan to try her new hat for brain power. Evan reluctantly puts it on. There's a ring of the bell. Evan goes to the balcony and sees Jean allowing Hank into the manor.
I love that so much.
Yay!
Hank meets privately with Professor X. It is revealed that Professor X once reached out to Hank when he was a young, tiny little boy. That's how Hank knew to come here. Hank tells the professor he has been controlling his mutation through a self-made serum, but it seems to be wearing off. Xavier goes into Hank's mind and tells him to stop fighting against his mutation. It's just too inevitable.
I like how you just adding the words "tiny little boy" just made this so much creepier.
My hands weren't grown in yet.
You're hairless now, but just you wait, baby.
All right.
Oh no.
My lord. I liked at the beginning when Hank came at the door and there was lightning. It was like a little bit of foreshadowing because the lightning just made everything on his body turn blue.
Oh.
I noticed that too.
I saw that too.
That was super cool.
I loved that.
Yeah, me too.
And also this is where I thought that maybe we had a cameo because when Professor went into Hank's mind, the way that Hank was portrayed was basically Dark Beast.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a gray and it had the more pronounced pointy ears, or I don't know what you would call it, but yeah.
Wow, look at you. Thank you. Now we get to use the cameo soundbite.
Come out, wherever you are.
Don't worry about us, Dingo. We'll make sure we can.
Cameo.
I mean, I totally thought that was the reason why he was expose today.
So I thought so too, and
why.
that's why I was like, "Oh, damn, Sean already got it. It's not my cameo."
Yeah,
Right.
I did that on purpose because I'm so smart. Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.
All right, it's me.
Yep.
Back at Bayville High, Hank is experimenting late into the night. He drinks his concoction and begins to scream. Principal Kelly is also at school late and hears him. Kelly looks into the room to find it destroyed and Hank transformed. Hank opens the door and Kelly makes a run for it. He goes to hide in an office, but Hank busts a fist through the door. Kelly pulls the fire alarm. Busts a fist through the door.
I know. I mean, I'm picturing things that I'm just picturing things.
Yes, Hanky.
Kelly pulls the
There's
fire
a new meaning
alarm,
to the Hanky code.
Scaring Hank off. He exits the classroom and finds a piece of the lab coat with McCoy's name on it.
Gasp!
What a coincidence.
Wait, that's him? What do you guys think of the way the Beast is portrayed, like after his transformation? Like, this is kind of like a new form that we've never seen. You know, we've seen Cat Beast, we've seen Beast, we've seen... I guess he was a little bit of an ape after he reverted back from his cat form, but this is more like but this was before that, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the way. I mean, I like that they went to this way. I think they probably could have drawn him better, more exciting. I think it was just a little too lazy. I think the arms could have been more focused on, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. They just seem like really lanky, longer, like human arms instead of, a beast-like arm, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can't really explain. Yeah, there's something that's derpy about the design. I don't know what it is, but there's something just like Uncanny Valley off with it.
I think you said it perfectly when you said lazy. Like,
yeah.
The way that it's more like Kong-like, the way that like his arms are, like the way, like more of like a giant ape, the way that his arms are in this, and he's never had that before. And I know that when he was more of before he transformed in the comics, that's what he was compared to was more of like an ape boy instead of like a beast,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm watching him right now, and I'm just it's funny because the way he fights, they draw his arms normal, but then later on, they draw him as if like his arms are longer and he's like walking on them, and it just makes no sense. And I just think that it's just weird for me.
Sean, he's like a Bandersnatch.
Yes, he does look like a Bandersnatch.
Our Resident Evil reference. There you go.
Yeah, like I feel Ryan kind of called it out on last episode. I feel like this Beast is more Ultimate X-Men Beast. That's what he gives me. Except for my main complaint is his face. I don't know. He was like an attractive man, and then he turned all like derpy looking as a beast. I don't know
what I'm
why.
saying. That nose is super weird.
Like a little Quasimodo-esque.
And his hair is like...
The hair is like awkwardly middle stage, like he's a 13-year-old boy going through emo puberty.
It's David Bowie in the Labyrinth.
Don't come for Jared.
Danny DeVito in Labyrinth.
There you go.
There you go. Yes.
Also, a huge complaint I have about this Beast is his fingernails. They're just basically human fingernails, and they're basically that color. They're like the darkest blue possible. Like he literally went and got a manicure and was like, "Can I get Beast of Bayville blue, please? Like, give me B cubed." Like, it just upset me.
That was so specific.
No, literally, they did very, again, lazy with the fingers too. It looks like they just kind of did like a little blop of a black to give him fingernails instead of like claws. It just if he's a beast, would he not have claws? Like I'd assume in like other versions, like he's had claws that he's been able to use.
Yeah, he should have claws. He's a
He's
beast.
a beast.
He's a beast. He's got fangs, but
Claws
it's
are
the sharp ones.
ones. Yep.
There you go.
There we go.
He got fists, but he ain't got no claws.
Yep. All right, Kevin, continue us on.
All right. Back at the manor, the X-Team watch the news. A state of emergency has been called after an outbreak of break-ins. An emergency. The news reports that a wildebeest, I want to say wildebeest, but it's wild beast, is on the loose. Kelly is interviewed and he tells the news, "It's Mr. McCoy. I know everything." Wolverine deduces, based on patterns, that Beast is heading north. The team go to find Beast.
Do you guys think this news reporter is Trish Tilby? It kind of looks like her.
Oh, I'm a Trish Tilber.
I'm Trish Tilby.
And if how ironic that she's covering the Beast.
Yeah. I'm going to count it as a cameo. I'm gonna
Do
count
it.
Okay.
Consider it so because they really dived into that on X-Men 97, so I could totally see that possibly being her here.
Yeah, because she was like a really big character in the comics in the 90s, so I wouldn't be surprised if Evolution picked up on it, and then obviously 97, which went much deeper with it.
Oh, for sure.
I'm gonna check Wiki.
All right. Well, while you do that, I'm going to read our next scene, girl, and then you can get back to us.
Got it.
And bitch. Woo! The X-Team encounter Beast in a junkyard. Kitty goes to track Beast while Jean calls Logan on her X-Vibrator. Kitty catches up to Beast. He nearly takes her out, but Jean comes to the rescue. Enter Wolverine. No, you're not used to people casually throwing around X-Vibrator?
I have in my notes, finally, the return of the X-Vibrator.
Where's that Gene-gasm, though? We need that Gene-gasm.
Yeah,
X-Vibrator.
gotta get it somewhere.
We might need an X-Vibrator.
I
Someday.
Okay.
Put
I
that
love
for
it.
sale in our merch shop.
I'm gonna feel so bad if this is the last time we see the X-Vibrator, too.
I know.
If we sell it on the merch shop,
If you don't see it, you know where it's at.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If we sell it, can it play the X-Men theme song while it's like vibrating? Because that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That's not what it plays. That's how it vibrates. It's
I don't know why, but I get so hard when I'm watching X-Men now. Oh.
Wait, you weren't doing that before?
Yep.
True. With them outfits, yep. With that Wolverine shower scene with Morph, yep, I'm there.
Oh.
All right. Enter Wolverine. He engages in battle with Beast. Wolverine demands Kitty, Jean, and Spike stay in the junkyard while he goes after Beast. Jean reports to Storm, who still has not done anything in this episode. Spike thinks he knows what Beast is up to and gives chase. Yep. Kitty and Jean follow.
Beast continues his rampage through the city. Nightcrawler, Rogue, and Storm find him and lock into battle. Well, Rogue and Nightcrawler too, but you know. Beast disappears onto a rooftop. Nightcrawler ports up to follow him. The two fall into an old storage building. Jean and Rogue follow him into the building, again, because Storm's not there. Enter Scott, who zaps Beast. The foursome lose track of Beast. I also noticed the color of Scott's costume was consistently changing from white to yellow to gray. Like, there was a very big inconsistent change of color with his costume the entire time in that little tunnel.
Yeah. And that was actually called out in the wiki notes too, so I'm glad you noticed it.
Evan goes to the amphitheater on his own. As expected, Beast makes his appearance. Beast goes to strike down Spike, but Wolverine enters and takes down Beast. But Beast ain't down for good. The other X team arrive, and Jean psychically pins Beast against the wall. Spike starts quoting Shakespeare to Beast, as one does. Nightcrawler ports in Xavier, who instantly goes to work on Beast's mind. The scene fades to black.
It was an assignment.
It was an assignment.
He has to make up for his leave at ditching class some way or another. So I'm going to win you over with my Shakespeare. And yeah.
A lot of good that does is return to the school.
I really don't think a Beast would have been like, oh yeah, Shakespeare, let me calm down.
Yeah.
It works on my dog. No, it doesn't.
Actually, come to think of it,
work on my cats.
yeah. Oh wow. That's how Black Widow brings down Hulk, though. It's not Shakespeare, but she like quotes poetry to him.
You're appealing to his inner person, is what you're doing. Because
the sun's getting low, big guy.
Yeah,
yeah. The sun's getting low, big guy.
To the person that's lost in there.
Deadpool says it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Who is it? Me?
You're up,
It's you, girl.
Okay. The next day, back at the manor, the X team sit down to breakfast as they watch the news. The news reports that Beast is still at large. Upstairs, Xavier and Spike talk to Beast. Beast has his inner beast under control. Is that what we're calling it? Okay. Kurt offers Beast.
They have pills for that.
My inner beast. Yes. Kurt offers Beast the option of wearing an image inducer. Beast refuses. He doesn't want to hide his appearance. Also, he makes a really good note here that, you know, Hank McCoy is like a fugitive. Like, if I go back to my form, like, I'm not going to be safe, really.
You really can't turn him into anything else. I don't think you have the power to just give him a random person's identity.
Did you guys notice that at the beginning of this scene, when it's like the next day at the manor, that it was on a cliff?
Oh yes, it was actually on a cliff.
Yeah, so that explains the whole like seeing the when we were like it wasn't how are they seeing the ocean from Boom Boom's or Nightcrawler's balcony in the first few episodes?
I just don't think it was on a cliff in the first season though.
I don't think it was, no. Because I remember Sabretooth was standing like on a cliff looking down at the mansion.
Yeah, I remember that too. Sabretooth was looking down.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, they do know Avalanche. What happened? No, it wasn't.
How unfortunate.
How unfortunate. And Aurora, can you give us your best back at the manor since you haven't had to say it yet?
Oh my god. Back at the manor.
I love it.
Good. Very good.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're like,
all right, let's bring us home. Downstairs, Scott finds Kitty's new headgear in the trash. It worked. She passed the test. Xavier and Kurt enter and announce the newest faculty member, Mr. McCoy. Hank corrects the professor.
I had no idea.
Is Beast.
In the sheets.
In the sheets.
I'm not allowed on the streets anymore, so just the sheets.
Nope, just in the sheets.
Valid point, Kevin. Valid point.
Right.
All right, so shall we each talk about how we like the episode and rate it Britishly bitchin' like Emma, pretty cool like Iceman, Australian Wolverine, you kind of love it but kind of hate it, fat and sweaty like Jubilee, or unspeakable like X-Men Origins Deadpool?
Oh, I love it. I love it. This is great. Oh, am I going first?
Yeah, go for it.
Guess
Oh,
first.
okay. You know, you kind of love it, but you kind of hate it. Like
And
at the
why is that?
beginning, it starts out good. You know, it's the introduction to Hank McCoy. You know, we're kind of getting a little origin story, backstory when he visits Professor X. You know, but then as the rest of it goes, again, Storm, what are you doing? You're just kind of flying by, and then the laziness with Beast, I just felt like the fight was kind of just very, I don't know, poor written. I think it could have been done better. I don't think there was a reason for him to be hide. I don't also know how he was able to hide in a crate and also seal the crate completely while being feral and, you know, rageful. So that also just kind of made no sense to me. So I don't know. I kind of nitpicked it myself for a little bit. So I kind of pay attention to all that little detail stuff. So for me, I just kind of have to give it, you kind of love it, but you kind of hate it. Like I do, like I enjoy the side story with Kitty Pryde, you know, and her little hat thing. I didn't really care for Spike and doing the William Shakespeare, even though I'm a big Shakespeare fan. So it's just a 50-50 for me. So you gotta love it, but you gotta hate it.
Okay, that's fair. How about Kevin next?
Oh, okay. Uh,
You have strong feelings.
Yeah. Were you just
I
imagining
mean,
those twists?
yeah, it just got me right now. Oh, in the gut punch. Anyway, there are things I really do enjoy about this episode. I think I really like the scene with Beast and Xavier. I think that's really cool, and I like that Xavier kind of says he can't really help him, but he does kind of empower him to find it in himself. That's a really good scene. But yeah, there are some things that I don't really like. I don't really like the introduction of Beast as much of like being the wild animal running through the streets. I would have liked something, I don't know, different in some way. I don't know what it would be, but something different. So I'm gonna give it kind of love it, kind of hate it too. Yeah.
Okay.
Solid.
Ryan,
It's gonna be three ways for me as well.
I love three
Australian
ways.
Wolverine, kind of love it, kind of hate it. I don't know. I've always liked Beast a lot, the character. I think the voice actor does a great job at him. I actually IMDb'd him earlier too. In the first few photos, I thought that he was actually Giles from Buffy, because like if you look up his IMDb page,
Very
he
similar
looks just
voice.
like him. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, a reason I like this guy even more. But I don't like the way that they represent Beast in this. I also don't like that he's not like he's not as smart as he should be. I believe, you know, like in the Marvel universe, he's supposed to be like top 10 smartest people, and I just feel like it doesn't give good representation in this. And I don't like how they changed his backstory. So
Okay,
there you go.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, let's make it a foursome. I said kind of love it, kind of hate it. And I like the Beast part of the story, but like I feel like this episode's very disjointed. I feel like it could have easily like woven into each other. Because why do we care about Evan being late all the time? What does that have to do with Beast?
Yeah.
And like I saw an obvious parallel between Kitty's hat and her like using a shortcut in science to like make herself better. And that obviously mirrors what Beast did with his experiment, but they never really connected those. So I'm like, I just watched 3 different stories in one 20-minute episode. But
And they're right there for
yeah,
you. The connections are right there.
yeah. Like I think there could be an obvious story with like Evan is immature and like he's maturing through getting to know Beast, but they went with like the late thing. I don't know. It's almost there for me, but not quite.
It was lazy writing and just lazy artistry in one episode. It was fun, you know, so that's what kind of boosted it
Yeah.
up there, but it's laziness that really just brings it down, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right. Who do we think is the most excellent player? MXP. I'll let anybody go. Whoever has one.
As much as we dogged him, it's got to be Beast. You know what I mean? Yeah. Overcoming the inner beast that he had to, and accepting his mutation actually pretty quickly too, or realizing that he has to accept his mutation pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I would have to say I agree. I think MVP wise, I mean, with all the stories that was going on this episode, I mean, Sean, like you said earlier, it was just all over the place. There was just no correlation with everything. So really, the only viable option here is either honestly Kitty or Hank, and I have to go with Beast on this one, because he's evolved to Beast now. So I'd have to say the most excellent player would be Beast in this one for me.
Yeah.
I put Beast too. I mean, because he is a sweet and understanding teacher. He is really good at his job, all whilst fighting this unpredictable force inside of him. And then he tries to be responsible and ask for help. He's what?
You said the force inside of him, his fist.
Yeah, force. Yes. But he does ask for help as well, which is showing that he's responsible, that he knows he can't do this alone. He loses his dream job. He talks about how much he loves being a teacher. Now he has to, shift, but he does fully embrace the shift, and he accepts everything that he is now, and goes into the next phase of his life, which is really admirable. So yeah.
Yeah, I picked up on that same thing. How fast he turns into this blue monster, but he's just like, cool, that's who I am now. Call me Beast. That's pretty admirable. That no matter what happened to him, he can deal with it. And I think that's a good message for us.
You could tell that he was really struggling with him, but he's learned to just accept it and that he'll just figure it out on his own. But he's learned that he's already got people already on his side. And as someone who's been through what he's been through for so long, he knows how very important that is. So I think that's why it was just so much easier for him to kind of just accept the transformation, knowing that it's impossible to, prevent it. But, where he's at now, he's in a safe space. Like we were talking earlier, safe spaces, just makes it easier for others to, he's come out. I'm coming out as a Beast now, so I'm safe here, so let's do this.
I love that you brought your message full circle. That was amazing. Kudos to you.
Yeah.
That was your first time on a pod.
Yeah. All right. And then, mine was, I already said mine, Beast. And then X Factor.
You know what? I got to change mine. I'm going to change mine. I'll change mine. Mine is Kitty's hat.
It ended up in the trash.
Yep. Ended up in the trash. I love that.
You deserve each other. This hat and you. You're both so smart. Okay.
She's the real trash queen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Move over, Alaska Thunderfork. All right, X Factor. So favorite moment in this episode, or a way that it connects to the bigger X universe. For me, mine was just seeing Beast transformation animated. I thought that was pretty cool because in the original series, we never really got that change from the regular person to the Beast form. So that was cool.
And if you remember in the regular series, I don't think they did it correctly. He was blue as a teenager in the regular series, and I was very upset. I was like, no, I wanted 8 Beast.
Yeah. You ruined it.
You ruined everything.
Bitch!
X Factor. I'm gonna say mine. I'm gonna say the Danger Room. I love that we literally got to see them being tested by Storm. The one thing she did in this episode. There you go. She tested them in the Danger Room. They are learning. They support each other. And even though they failed, they were praised for all the wonderful things they still exhibited in battle. And I'm like, that is such a great moment for me. So
nice.
I have 2. My first one is obviously, it's Storm because, they have to find a way to ride her in there, I guess. So she's just being there. And it was just every time I kept seeing her do nothing, I was laughing. So if the comedic part was what they were going for, then they definitely get a 10 out of 10 for me because literally every time I just saw Storm, it was just her hovering, and just being I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, this makes no sense. And then I have to say the other one, of course, is the same with Hank's transformation. It was definitely a very fun story to watch. And I think what I really enjoyed was him trying after speaking to Xavier, him trying to go back and still trying to formulate the formula to really try and hinder it, push it down, and eventually he just found that it was impossible. I think that was a very, very dark scene for what they could do dark in the, early 2000s. I mean, animated Batman did better, but still, I think it was a very fun story. And I did like the concept that they were going for. So it was a very good way they portrayed it. Definitely much better than the original series for sure, too.
Yeah, I like that. All right, our question this week. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, goddamn. No,
sorry.
Never mind. Skip me over.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Mine was actually already mentioned. I was going to actually say the Danger Room as well, because I felt like that was the first time that we saw it with like the visual aspects of like things changing and stuff like that. And previously it was like more of like the balls coming out of the wall, spikes coming up places, stuff like that. So I thought it was really cool to see the Danger Room.
Cool. Sorry, I thought you already went.
No, it's okay. I was just being silly.
Just too focused on me.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
I do have to say, like, your boy drag, you're very like punk, and I love a good punker boy. So like, you're my weakness.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. I haven't been creepy on you at all. But anyway, previously on, what kind of lover is Beast? A beast in the sheets? A selfish bitch? Woo! A pillow princess? Or ouch, just ouch.
Oh my goodness. How do I choose?
Well, I for one think he's a beast in the sheets.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. Unless there was like a more like a passionate one, you know what I mean? Because he likes his Shakespeare and stuff like that. So I could see like him being like a tender lover too.
Okay.
I see him being a tender lover while still being a beast in the sheets. Like, I see him like he's such a smooth person. He knows his poetry. He knows how to like talk, So I could see him just like smoothing his way and just being super sweet. And the moment you're in that bed, it is just rules out.
What?
Rules out the window.
Rules out
I'm your own blood. It's okay, baby.
So I'm gonna go with ouch, just because like I don't his mouth is gonna be too big. Like I need my nipples licked, not bitten. I'm very sensitive, and also I'm not. I can't do the fisting thing. I just can't. It's not in me.
And it'd be a very tight knot too. So
yeah, I was just gonna say, is that a pun or is that reality? The whole I just got some that in me. Yeah.
So yeah, I love him, but I don't know. Start small.
Okay.
Train me. You gotta train me to.
Finger at a time.
Yep.
claw at a time.
Ouch.
At least the nails won't get in the way. All right. Danger Room Divas. You asked for it, Kevin. Here goes. So last week we asked who would be a bigger fan of Vegas, Gorgeous George or Storm. One of these characters got 74% of the votes, and that is Gorgeous George. So the win goes to Ryan.
Of course.
I mean, I wouldn't say that they didn't choose because of what I said. It's George is a clear choice for Vegas over Storm. You know what I mean? So it wasn't because of what you said. I think you gave a very good argument, Kevin. So don't be down.
You gave a very good argument.
Yeah, don't be down on
I
yourself.
love the pageant answer. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
And world
And
peace.
I believe I forgot who it was. Was it Legion? I think Legion Ivory wrote in and agreed with you. If you make Storm mad in Vegas, she's just gonna use her weather power just to fuck it over.
That's right.
So like, yeah.
Mhm.
So people
Honestly,
agreed
guys
with
are,
you.
they need some rain, so.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Wash that dirty away.
Fill that Hoover Dam back up. It's sinking. Real bad.
Oh,
Yep.
the damn dam.
God damn.
All right, we're gonna do a showdown. Me and Aurora. Are you so excited, Aurora?
I'm nervous. I've never done this before.
You haven't said that in a long time.
Oh, it's been a while.
Come on, Gambit, can't you make this program a little tougher?
Oh, it's no game, buddy. It's the danger room. It's where we train.
Danger Room Divas!
Simulation complete.
Do you want to be heroes or villains?
Ooh. Let's be a villain.
Oh, naughty, naughty. All right, let's randomize your villain. Who did? Oh, I forgot I have to spin.
Silver Samurai.
Silver Samurai.
You had me because it was almost on Lady Deathstroke. I was getting so excited for a second.
I know. That was exciting. All right. For me, my hero.
Dazzler.
I got Dazzler?
Get it?
Yes, make it happen. All right. Are you ready for a situation?
Okay.
Let's see.
Worst
Who would be a worse driver?
I can think of very good reasons that both of them would be bad drivers. No, you guys got this.
All right. So, Kevin or Ryan, can one of you time us 30 seconds?
Sure.
Okay, he's got it.
Okay. Damn, I need to think of an argument. Okay.
Sean, I'm letting you go first on this one.
All right. Tell me when to go.
Hold on. On your marks. Get set. Go.
So Dazzler, she loves to sing, and she's kind of flighty, let's just face it. So she's going to be driving in that car. She's singing. When she sings, she inadvertently uses her powers. So she's making a whole fucking light show in the car with her. She's not seeing the road in front of her. So not only is she not paying attention to the road, she's also...
All right, are you ready?
Oh, let's do this.
All right, on your marks. Get set. Go.
First of all, the Silver Samurai can't fit in any car. I mean, he can't fit in anything. He can't fit in a tank. He can't fit in a helicopter. He can't fit in a car. He can't even fit in a boat. If he tries to get in a yacht, that thing's probably going to sink too. One little slash of his sword and that thing's gone. I'm sorry, but he has no chance of driving anything. Plus, he can't even see his visual. It cannot be good. I'm sorry, just no.
Dang, it goes so quick.
They have pills for that.
Man, I'm all natural.
Well, thank you for letting us put you on the spot and playing our silly little new game with us. This is only our second week.
That was fun. I always love arguing as long as you give me something to argue.
Yeah. Well, great. That brings us to the end of our episode. Aurora, we really appreciate you taking time out to come and pop your cherry with us, your podcast cherry.
In my first podcast, it was honestly a blast. I would love to do this again. You gentlemen were amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. We feel the same about you.
Will we see you at Uncanny Experience 2025?
Yes, absolutely. I think we're pretty much annual with them now, for what it was here. But yeah, we are already planning on some very fun performances for you guys for this year. So be ready for those. I've got some new costumes. I've got ideas, so I'm going to get those put in the works. And yeah, some choreography, some training to do, and I'm excited for you guys all to see it. I think this year's going to be so much fun.
Yay.
I cannot wait.
Yeah,
And
summer
this year,
camp.
I'm on to you. I'm gonna be like, oh, that's Aurora Veil. I recognize her this time.
You see me lurking around everywhere during the gala, during the show, you know.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid to come say hi. I'm the shy one.
we will. We will. And where can people follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram. That's at aurora.veil, Veil. I'm also on Facebook, Austin Matthews. And yeah, I perform regularly at the Twin Cities here when I can. I do have a show coming up starting in March every Thursday at Roxy's Cabaret called Read My Lips. It's the lip sync battle show here at the Twin Cities. It's season 4, and we're giving away $2,000 cash and a crown and title of lip sync assassin. So we're looking forward to that as well. So that's coming up in 2025. So
Ooh.
Very, very cool.
Very
yes,
cool.
yes, she's a working woman.
Yes, I get it.
Right.
And you can find me on Sean Perrette on Instagram or TikTok, where you could find anything about my book or other projects, links to everything there. Ryan, how about you?
Oh, now he remembers me.
Oh, wow.
Full circle.
Yep.
You guys can follow me on Instagram at RYEORIO, or like always, find me in the comments of Solving for X. Thanks, guys. What about you, Kevin?
Oh yeah, that you can find. I'm mostly on Instagrams because that's where I live. It's KJEEZY87. I've been posting some really sexy modeling pictures lately, like well, per usual, but still. And yeah. And then you can follow the other podcast that Sean and I do, Words of the Witches. About the Charmed books.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Kevin's like really upset that we made a few Buffy references, but no Charmed. So thank you for that, everybody.
I mean, everything's charmed back here.
I mean, we even mentioned Agatha earlier too. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, see? Yeah. Witches are everywhere.
Thank God.
All right, sexy Icties. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you sexy bitches. Woo!